Hiya guys, hope you are well. So today looking at another reason why spirits could possibly still be here. It was often thought that the reason that these entities are still with us today is that there's something else is keeping them here. Sometimes it is thought these entities can have an emotional attachment to physical objects, items, jewellery, personal objects from life, furniture, buildings, things like that, or even their bodies themselves, what's left of their bodies. And that could be the case of why somebody had such a terrifying experience in the next story, the story of the skulls.
The church at Tregaron, Cardiganshire, was being rebuilt in 1877, and certain skulls were turned up by the diggers in making new foundations. The boys of Tregaron amused themselves playing ball with the skulls, picking out their teeth and banging them against the wall to see if they would break and the like. While they probably never heard the story told by Mrs. Morgan of Newport to the Prophet Jones of some men who were drinking at an inn. One of the men, to show his courage, declared he was afraid of no ghosts, and dared to go to the charnel house and fetch a skull from that ghastly place. This bold and dangerous thing he did, and the men debated over their beer whether it was a male or a female skull. Well, after a jolly hour or so over the skull, the bold one carried it back and left it where he got it. But as he was leaving the church, suddenly a tremendous blast like a whirlwind seized him, and so mauled him and hauled him that his teeth chattered in his head and his knees knocked together. And he ever after swore that nothing should tempt him to such a deed again. He was still more convinced that the ghost of the original owner of the skull had been after him. When he got home, his wife told him that his cane, which had hung in the room, had been beating against the wall in quite a dreadful manner.
So another case, it seems, of just leaving well alone, like we've seen in some previous stories. Don't meddle with things, don't mess around with things that you shouldn't. I'd like to think in today's society people wouldn't want to be doing such things, playing around with skulls that they found, or God forbid digging up themselves, but yeah, we shouldn't meddle with such things. If you want to live a calm, peaceful life, if you want to be happy, that type of thing, don't dabble in such things. Leave things be. It's a good lesson, I think. And it reminded me as well of one of my personal favourite television programmes of all time, Supernatural, with the Winchester brothers. Quite often they believed that to banish a spirit, the way you would do this by salting and burning their bones themselves. Obviously based in fiction, but a lot of it, if you look back through various stories and folklore, does have an element of truth perhaps. If you look back through history, such things may have started somewhere. So yeah, an interesting one again. Really enjoyed the skulls personally. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as me. As always, remember to please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to get updates on when these videos are released. So as always, share your thoughts, share your comments guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you. See you soon.